Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do before you do anything else, before you can fry your fish or season your fish, you want to make sure your fish is completely dry as you can get it. If the fish is not dry when you're frying it, it's going to stick to the pan and it's going to fall apart, and you don't want that. Okay, so I got my fish all cleaned. It's scaled, the insides were cleaned out, all that goodness. So there's no scales, no fins, anything on it. It was washed and it's clean. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start adding my seasonings. So I have some black pepper here. I have garlic powder. I have this fish powder. I got this from the African market. Any type of fish seasoning will do. And then I have a little salt, just a little bit though. And you want to work that in, and then we're going to turn this over and do the next side. So you want to get it all in. So what I did was just use my knife to cut just a little bit so I can get some seasonings in there, and to make sure that your fish is cooked, it's going to cook all the way through. So you want to get that in there. Now what I'm going to do is flip this over and do the same thing on the other side. My black pepper, my garlic, and just a little salt. Do that all in. I'm gonna get all in there, get all the seasonings in there. Okay, so now that we got that all seasoned, what I want to do is just lightly dust this with a little bit of flour, just lightly. And pat that in. I said lightly only because I don't want to give it a coating like fried chicken. I just want it to give it a nice crispy coat when we fry. So we're going to dust that very lightly, and again on the other side. Just like that. This is very messy, guys. But it's alright. Just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have my pan here with the oil heating up. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of garlic to the oil, directly to the oil. And I also have a little bit of scallion, a little piece of scallion, and the Scotch bonnet pepper. And what that's going to do is give off a really, really nice aroma and a nice scent and a nice flavor for when we're frying our fish. So you just want to fry that up a little bit and let it flavor the oil. If you have one whole garlic clove, it's better than to use what I used, only because it's going to be hard to try and scoop that out after. But I don't have the whole clove, so I just use the minced garlic, which is totally fine if you don't have a whole clove. So as you can see, our garlic is starting to get a little brown, so we can go ahead and pull these out now. I'm going to try to pull out as much of the garlic as I can. Okay, so now it's time to add our fish in. So the trick to this is you want to add the fish away from you so that the grease does not fly back and burn you. So you want to add it away from you, just like this. Just like that. You want to try to get the whole fish in. My pot is not big enough, so just do it like that. And so I'm going to fry this for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. Okay guys, so it's been about 7 minutes, and what I did is flip the fish over. You want to be very careful when you're flipping the fish because you don't want it to fall apart. And like I said, if your fish is not all the way dried or dried as much as possible, it's going to stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay guys, so again, after about 5 to 7 minutes, the fish should be done. So what I'm going to do is take this out and put this on the plate to drain the excess oil. And then I'm going to show you guys how we make the escovitch sauce that goes on top of the fish. Okay, so now for the escovitch sauce. So what I have here are my onions, the carrots, the green and red bell pepper, some thyme, the pimento seeds, and the Scotch bonnet pepper right there. We're going to add that all in. I kept some of the oil from when I fried the fish because that's the oil that had all the flavor in it. I just dumped the majority of it out, just left just a little bit in there to get the flavor. What I'm going to do is saute these veggies up really nice. And a word of advice for the Scotch bonnet pepper, do not use your bare hands to cut the Scotch bonnet pepper because it's very, very spicy. And if you touch your hands afterwards, it is going to burn, trust me. So either use a glove or be very, very careful. And also, if you don't want it spicy, you can use the allspice. Just take the seeds out. The seeds are the spicy part. So if you don't want it spicy, you can use the Scotch bonnet. Just don't use the seeds. So we get this all sauteed up. And now what I'm going to do is add in a little of this fish and meat sauce. Just a little. Mix that up in there very well. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but I have my thyme in here as well. This is the thyme. Okay, so next what we're going to do is add in a little sugar. And we're also going to add in our vinegar. So what the sugar does is cuts down the acidity of all the vinegar and everything, and it comes together very nice. So you definitely want to make sure you add that sugar. And if you have brown sugar, that works perfectly fine too. So then let this come back up to a boil. So now you guys, this is basically done. This is a very simple escovitch sauce. And what you're going to do is put all of this on top of your fish, and I'm going to show you how I do that in the next clip. So let's go.